Hi, welcome to this part of my solo campaign featuring From the Ashes. If you haven't seen the other parts of this solo campaign, please check out the playlist in the description below. So we continue with Corvus resting from his recent battle. He has now healed his body from all the wounds that he suffered, and he has leveled up using the souls that he obtained from that long quest. He also makes some purchases of the supplies that he has spent, and the next morning he uses the Jawbone of Remembrance to return to the third gate, and he continues his journey towards the fourth gate. For this section of the adventure, I am using a table of encounters that is contained within the core book of From the Ashes. So Corvus continues along the mountain path, and he spots an old woman picking mushrooms alongside the road. I made a roll using the Flextail AI Guidebook, and I obtained Sense Motive. I used the Bystander Solo Passing template for this. My interpretation is the following. Corvus uses his insight to try to figure out the old woman, but he doesn't notice anything peculiar about her. I made a roll to see what he would do in case this was a failure in the tables of the Flex AI Guidebook, and the result was Leaves. So Corvus decides to continue on his path. He leaves that area without interacting with the old woman. He continues his journey alongside the mountain path, and later on, by the side of the mountain, he spots a waterfall. I took this opportunity to employ the Motive Character Emulator. The link to it will be in the description below. I have yet to review this character emulator. I think one day I will review it completely. I just need to use it a few more times to get a good grasp on how it works. So I use the engine oracles from this emulator, employing the standard question set to see if Corvus would interact with the waterfall, and I obtained yes, average interest, and blunt approach. My interpretation is that Corvus approaches the waterfall and explores both its surroundings and the waters, but couldn't find anything of note. However, the water had a revitalizing effect upon him, so the next physical check or roll that he makes, be it in combat or using a skill, he's going to get a bonus with that because of the waterfall. Corvus continues his journey and spots several dead bodies just spread out across the road. He investigates them, and they are the dead bodies of normal villagers. There doesn't seem to be a clear cause of death, and there is nothing of value or interest within their belongings. However, Corvus was unnerved because he found so many bodies just laying there on the road, so he accumulated a point of stress. He continues his trek and finally reaches the fourth gate, which is unsurprisingly closed, and it's entangled with vines and roses. Beyond it, he can hear the faint sounds of someone muttering. Upon the side of the gate, there is a message that reads, "Oh woe to those beyond." Corvus leaves this area and encounters the remains of a ramshackle hut or shack. There is broken furniture and rotten materials, which can easily be examined through light that streams through the badly joined planks that make up the walls and roof of the hut. There is nothing of value here either. Corvus must press on in order to find another way towards the other side of the gate. So he continues walking, and is startled to see dark grey clouds covering up the skies. In the distance, he can see an unkept graveyard, and beyond it, a village. And this concludes this part of the session report. The journey was quite uneventful, perhaps even fruitful, because he obtained that bonus from the waterfall, and the Motive Character Emulator served well when it comes to Corvus deciding if he should interact with the waterfall or not. If you want to check out the Motive Character Emulator, the link to it will be in the description below. It's basically a small guide and a set of tables with a series of answers. You ask some questions, and depending on the theme or the sort of question that you are asking, you build this set of 3 answers based on the oracles, and they provide some guidance to see what the player character, or rather the non-player character when you are playing some other type of solo game, is going to do. Is that character going to interact with an object? Is that character trying to cross that bridge, go through that tunnel, climb up that tree? All of that can be resolved using the tables of the character emulator. But like I said in Abraham's method, following the standard process, you can also use the Game Master's Apprentice deck. I think a good way to handle things in more complex situations would be to both use the character emulator, the motive character emulator, and the Game Master's Apprentice cards. Thank you for watching this part of the solo session report. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending right-through RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.